Bill and Margaret called us because they've been married for 36 years but have never had sex. They're both virgins, but Margaret says even though the whole sex thing scares her, she wants to have another try. Let's meet both Bill and Margaret. Hi. Tell us why you contacted us.
Well, we've been married for 36 years and we've never, ever had sex because I've got a fear and a phobia of it.
A total phobia. So you hadn't had a love life at all? You're both virgins, to use that term. What about the wedding night? Can you remember the wedding night?
I can remember the wedding night. It was the most horrific time of my life.
Why?
Because I got such a strict upbringing and I never ever knew what a naked man looked like.
How old were you when you left home?
22, no, 24 when we got married.
24, so you left home and got married straight away. So you'd never seen a man without clothes on, ever? So did you know that, Bill? Did you know she'd never seen a man without clothes on?
No, I didn't know that at all.
Until the wedding night?
No, not until the wedding night.
And what happened when you...
I was just so
She just froze.
Yeah.
Absolutely froze. And you were really upset by that?
Really scared.
So what was sex when you were a child? Was it talked about at all?
No.
Or was it something negative or dirty?
Yeah, my mum wouldn't never talk about it in the house, so it was a dirty word.
Totally dirty?
We must never talk about it in the home like that, and yet she had 3 children of her own.
And it wasn't to be talked about. What about for you, Bill? Was love life or sex talked about at home?
They wouldn't discuss it in the house. They thought it was naughty.
Disgusting.
Mm.
So had you had girlfriends before, Margaret?
No, only one, and that was a pen friend.
A pen friend, that was it. So have you tried to have a love life over the years?
Well, after 6 years had passed of our marriage, I thought something's got to be done about this. This is not right, you know. I went to my GP and he said that there was nothing physically wrong with me at all. It was psychological.
Which you could have told him anyway.
I had a real sex phobia. So I was referred to a sex therapist.
And how long did you go to the sex therapist?
I went to the sex therapist for 12 years in Birmingham.
12 years?
12 whole years, once a week.
But you didn't learn anything from it?
Yeah, I was given homework to do at night and videos to bring home.
With Bill?
No, I used to try and bring home the information to him, but he would only say, who have you seen on the bus? Who have you talked to? I brought a video home once that showed couples having sex, and he said to me, if you remember,
yeah,
put that off, it's disgusting, I can't watch this. It's horrible, it's disgusting.
So who is the one who wants the sex life more than the other one, do you think?
Well, I was the one that went for for 12 years. He came with me on one occasion, and he what did you say to the sex therapist? Can you remember what you said to him?
What did he say to you?
Shall I enlighten him?
You do whatever you like.
You said, we're happy as we are.
Yes, that's right.
Was that
and you
true?
told him.
Are you happy as you are, Bill?
Yes, we are, yes.
So if you never had sex again, if you go to your grave without ever having experienced sex, that would be all right for you?
That'd be all right, yes.
Would it be all right for you?
Well, what I wanted him to...
Would it be all right for you to go to your grave without ever having tried sex?
Well, not really, because I wanted him to discuss the things and I wanted him to share with me what I'd experienced with chatting to the sex therapist.
What about children?
I love children. I'm always looking after other people's children.
Would you have liked to have had children?
Yeah. I feel really guilty in that we never had any.
What do you get sexual urges at all?
I can look at men and think that he's nice, he's handsome, you know. I'd never run off with him and all that.
No, but you think core.
And he looks at women on the television. He's a boob woman, a boob man. Boob man.
I don't mean to be cruel, Bill, but if you could get your hands on those boobs, what would you do with them?
What do you say when you watch some of these women on the television? What do you say?
Gosh, I said, haven't they got some big bob naps?
Yeah, but what else do you say?
Eh?
What else do you say?
Oh!
You wouldn't get 2 of them in a pound.
Yes, that's right, yes.
It's not how many you'd get in a pound, it's what you did them when you got with them, when you got them home. Yes. So, do you have sexual urges, Bill?
No. Never.
Never. Never, ever, ever. Yeah.
No.
I was going to ask exactly what you now said. But if you can come on here and talk about this and see sex therapists for so long, you probably know more about sex than what I do.
Could you imagine... How old are you, if you don't...
17.
17.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a life never having sex at all?
No. Oh, well, basically, what I just wanted to say to you two was, apart from, like, not having sex, what's your relationship
Do you
like?
kiss
I mean,
and
are you
cuddle? Yeah.
affectionate? Do you have a good relationship? Do you communicate? I mean...
We've got a lot of things in common. He'll kiss and cuddle me, but I have to instruct him to do it.
Thank you. Instruct! Margaret, how do you instruct him? How do you instruct him to do
Well,
it?
if I say to him, put your arm round me or hold my hand, he'll do it because I've asked him to.
12 years with a sex therapist. Bill's saying he could gladly go, or he would go to his grave without ever having experienced sex. He doesn't get any sexual urges. You, on the other hand, you admit to you do get some sexual urges. What can we do that nobody else can do?
When he's watching these programmes on television with these ladies with these big boobs,
Yeah.
OK, on 2 occasions I've come down the stairs with next to nothing on. He says, you better go back upstairs, put some clothes, you'll catch your death at home.
OK, all right.
I don't know.
Seriously,
no idea.
Mark,
Don't know.
what do you want?
Why do you say that?
Well, it's because, I don't know.
Can I take it? On a serious note, can I take a guess that the reason he says that is like a lad? Let's say a lad would be watching. Just a minute. A lad would be watching pretty girls on television go core, and then his sister would come down the stairs next to nothing, and you'd turn around and say, "Go and put something on." Is it the relationship becomes so much like a brother and sister relationship that it would almost feel incestuous? Because there is that element of it. What are you hoping? If we give you a challenge, is it something you're willing to accept?
Well, the fear and the phobia has never gone away from me. I've never lost the fear and the phobia.
But would you be willing to accept a challenge? We wouldn't do anything that was going to harm you or be detrimental to you, obviously. But would you... Is that something you would be willing to try? Would you be willing to try something new?
Yeah.
What about you, Bill?
Probably.
This is a hypothetical question, Margaret. This is a hypothetical question. Bill, if what we suggested to you led to you and Margaret having a love life, would you still be interested in doing it? Because it would change the way things are.
I expect so.
You'd still go along with that? Do you think it would make Margaret happier?
It might if we held hands more.
As a start. All right, OK, let me introduce you to our challenge. Somebody's going to be involved in our challenge. Now, we've got our resident expert, our counsellor for the show, Ricky, who's going to take you away. We're going to give you a night in what we've called our love clinic. It doesn't mean a sex clinic. It's about love and relationship clinic. And Ricky... what are you going to do with... Who are you going to work with, Margaret and Bill? What sort of things
Well,
are you doing?
I'm going to work with both Margaret and Bill, but I think I'll probably be working with them in slightly different ways. With Margaret, more with her actual phobia that seems to be there for the sex. I think we can actually get rid of that, if it's really there, very quickly with some of the approaches and techniques that I know. But I think that really maybe the problem isn't so much around sex but communication, because I think sex in a relationship wants to be an expression of that love and connectedness that's there. And that's probably where we're going to start and look at the communication and see what comes up from there.
OK. Yes, what were you going to say, sir?
I'll spill a question. Bill, have you always been lively?
Yes, very
You've always
lively.
been lively, have you?
Yeah, very lively.
Oh, I thought I'd ask.
Thank you. So we know Bill is still with us. All right, you're all going to go off for this night. It's a very nice, very, very nice hotel. And we've got 3 experts. One is a sex therapist, but then there's Ricky, who's our counsellor. And we've also got our body language person. So whatever you learn, you're going to learn a little bit more anyway. OK, it'll be a step in the right direction to feeling a little bit happier about where you're at and where you could be. Is that something you'd both like to try?
Yeah?
I expect so.
Good luck. Thank you. OK. Now, Now, settle down. Settle down. Now, we just sent our guests off to a love clinic in the country with our group of experts. It's Robert Phipps, our sex therapist Carol Martin-Sperry, and our resident counsellor Ricky, who you just met then. Now, here's a sneak preview of tomorrow's show. Well, we'll be finding out how they all got on tomorrow's show, so don't miss it. We're right out of time, but keep watching ITV1 for this morning. Have a good night tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.